Om JJ Saima, everyone. Welcome, welcome to our question and answer call today. I know many of you have expressed interest in the program. You might still have some questions left, and we really wanted to offer this program to you, especially since one of our discounts ends on Sunday. So we really wanted to get it to you in case you were making a last minute decision about that and had some more questions. So before we begin, we do have interpretation, French translation for this event. And so go down to interpretations, you'll see there's a link. Click on there whether you wish to listen in French or in English. And even if you're an English speaker, put English in there, because if someone speaks in French, the translator will translate it for you. So English or French, please just go to interpretation. For some of you, everybody's computer is a little different, but you might have to click the three dots that say more, interpretation, and then put what language you'd like to hear the program in. Let's take a minute for that. All right. So in the Mary Magdalena program, in all of our Saima programs, we start with the welcome of Om JJ Saima. And what that means, for those of you who might not be aware, it means I honor the divine feminine in you and in me. It doesn't matter if you're in a female body or a male body, it doesn't matter. Each one of us has a divine masculine and a divine feminine. And now is the time on the planet, especially, to balance these two energies, to balance our brains, our hemispheres, so that everything can come into coherence and that we can experience the fullness of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And so when I say Om JJ Saima to you, it means I'm calling the divine feminine forth in you to become and move into more balance. The masculine, we could say that masculine energies have been stronger in this cycle on planet Earth. Everything moves in cycles, and there was a time the divine feminine was even more powerful. When you'll see that, especially like in Native American, you'll see the feminine being more powerful, and that was a time also on the planet. And then the masculine became more powerful. Now it's a balancing time. So that's what Om JJ Saima means, and that's why we call it forward. So let's also take a moment now. We'll put up the picture of Mary Magdalena that we use in this program. It's actually created by Britton, who is one of our students in the program, specifically for this program, and it's activated for this program. It's activated by Her Holiness Saima. So I invite you to just take a moment with me and gaze into the eyes of Mary Magdalena, allowing your eyes to soften, just soften as you breathe and exchange this glance between you and Mary Magdalena. You can allow this energy exchange between your eyes and her eyes to move back and forth. You may even want to imagine a figure-8 pattern, a weaving of the energy. And with each breath, welcoming. Every energy is in you. The divine feminine is in you. Nobody's putting anything in you. What you're doing with the welcoming is recognizing that it's in you and activating it, turning it on, and empowering it with your yes. Yes. I wish to experience more of this. Many of us have this as a seed in us, but it's kind of dormant. Maybe we've had to be more masculine than feminine. Maybe we've uh, not really expressed fully this feminine, compassionate, loving, open hearted, receiving those energies. And so welcome them, empower them. It's like watering a seed, giving them permission to expand within you. And maybe gently closing your eyes and bringing this light now down throughout your physical body, welcoming it into every cell and molecule and atom of your physical body. With another breath, allow it to expand even beyond your physical body into your aura, which is the energy field around your body. Merely with your attention on it and your welcoming of it. These energies now have room to expand. Another breath, allow this light to move from the soles of your feet all the way down to the crystalline core of Mother Earth. And see yourself now as a being of light on planet Earth, all the way down to the core. In this crystalline core are your unique footprints. And so I invite you now to find them and very consciously step into them. Yes, I'm here on planet Earth. I chose to come. If you're even a little bit interested in Mary Magdalena, you chose to serve, make a difference on this planet. As a Magdalenas, they always come during times of birthing a new earth, of assisting the planet, great service. Magdalena is a lineage of light, a lineage of the divine feminine. And so if your curiosity, if your soul brought you here, there's there's some connection you may be feeling. Well, welcome that. Just allow your worries and your doubts to melt into the core of Mother Earth, and Mother Earth will dissolve them for you. Now, feeling the gratitude of Mother Earth, Mata Gaia, imagine she sends up through the soles of your feet an amber colored light. With your awareness, with your invitation, bring this light all the way up through the soles of your feet. Allow it to move all the way to the heart. With another breath, expand your heart even more as you connect the light to the light of everyone on this call, your heart is connected. Now, opening your eyes as we gaze at the Magdalena grid around the globe. And there are many millions of Magdalenas around the globe. In this program, we have a specific grid that we activated and we anchor. All those other Magdalenas around the globe. I invite you to tap into that with us. And you can imagine that the higher realms we are available to bring this energy onto the planet at this time. This whole Magdalena program is designed to assist you to be a vehicle to bring to support these energies that are on the planet now, that were seeded 2,000 years ago by Mary Magdalena and Master Jesus, and to bring them, to expand them, to help to stabilize Mother Earth during this very chaotic time. And just becoming aware of that, and just breathe it in and notice what's happening in your physical body as you tap into this. All right, another breath in. Let me tell you a little bit about the program, and then we're going to move totally into Q&A so that you could ask any remaining questions you might have about it, how it might serve you. One of our first-year students is here to share with you her experience, because it's always kind of nice to hear from somebody who's currently in the program and what happened for her in the program. And then we'll open it for Q&A. All right. So let's go to the next slide, Lisa, please. So the vision of this program was created in 2016. I was meeting with Ma, and we were completing one healers program that we were doing. And I was about to create something else with Ma. We were working about this, and this vision of, could we bring the energies of Mary Magdalena, or could we activate them within us and in the planet and all that, to serve, and to, originally it was to be energy practitioners that could offer Magdalena healing sessions. And the program's evolved in so many different ways since 2016, when the concept first entered. So we envisioned this world of empowered individuals embodying, activating, and emanating the frequencies, the healing frequencies of Mary Magdalena, serving the planet and awakening the human family to its divinity. That's the vision of this program. So and when I was speaking with Ma about it, and could Ma activate this within us, and would Ma be willing to do this, and all of that, Ma said to me 3 words. Well, she would do it, but her charge to me was, get them ready. Just get them ready. And I was like, oh, I can do that. I mean, I'm real good at getting people ready and, being, we could say, bossy. So I had to get them ready. And we had no idea what we were creating, but immediately over 200 people signed up for the program, really before it was even created. And we created it and structured it in such a way that 9 months later, they would be capable of receiving the initiation and starting an energy healing practice. And I can tell you that first initiation, the energy was so strong, and it wasn't anchored yet on the planet, that some people they fainted when they were offering sessions. That's how powerful it was. Now it's more anchored on the planet. It's more solid on the planet. There's more of us. So it's really a very, very powerful frequency of light that gets activated, and you could become initiated to. Okay. But you had to get ready to be able to hold it, your capacity. So the mission of the Magdalena program, next slide, please. Yeah. It is to establish a global community. And community is a big word, and we'll talk about that throughout when we speak about this program. This community that emanates these frequencies that Mary had seeded on the planet 2,000 years ago with Master. This community is dedicated to the rise of the divine feminine in balance with the divine masculine. So it's not divine feminine over, it's in balance. And part of our mission is to include training certified Magdalena energy practitioners who can offer Magdalena energy sessions around the globe. And then, or we could say, Magdalena Healing Society members that are capable of emanating these frequencies and then serving in different domains such as business, coaching, education, and healing. So I would say most of our practitioners go all the way to offer the sessions, okay? And then we've actually revamped it this year, which I'll explain about, where you be a Healing Society member and you don't offer you're not certified to have a practice, but you use these frequencies in your coaching practice, your healing practice. And you emanate them. You walk into the grocery store and you emanate these frequencies. They're just, they can move through you. You emanate them. You're very conscious of it, and you serve the planet in that way. And so that's the mission of this program. Next slide, please. This year we changed the program to be a 6-month program prior to initiation. And then if you wanted to, you could go take another module and then go to certification. There's all the requirements for certification, which I'll explain in a second. So in level 1 of the program, we have 2 modules, and it's a 6-month program. And then the initiation would be after you can receive the initiation after you've successfully, and the word is successfully, completed the program. Okay. And by successfully, I mean you've attended all the weekend programs, you've been in the your monthly groups, you've attended the webinars. There's quite a bit of requirements for this to receive this initiation. The first module we call Purifying the Personality, and it has as a weekend module. In the first one, and we really look at what are the energies between you and your soul? What are the energies between you and your loved ones? What are the energies between you and receiving this initiation? And so we're looking at things like judgment, arrogance, unworthiness, shame, jealousy, whatever. What is in me? And then we offer you strategies to transmute that. And we really work close with you in community to really free yourself from these energies and transmute them. And that goes for 3 months. The second 3 months is what's called module 2 of that, which is deepening into the path of initiation. Like, what is an initiation? What does that really mean? What are the energies I need to embody more in order to receive this? For some of you, it's discipline. For some of you, it's devotion or compassion. Or so we really look at these frequencies I need to strengthen in me. And then we have practices and webinars on that, and we do that for another 3 months. Okay. And that with successful completion of that means you can be initiated. All right. Our next level is what's called energetic mastery. So in this level, you really learn more how to use energy. How do I emanate energy? Even if you're not having an energy practice with a table and working with someone, is how do I emanate energy where I walk? what are the ego traps of being an energy worker so that I don't misuse energy, so that I don't contract energy, so that I don't put my needing to rescue and fix people in with these energies that are now available for me to offer to others, to serve others with. So that's another level. And the final level, level 3, is the certification level, where you learn the protocol for a table session. You do 25 sessions where you're evaluated, and there's an ethics component in all of that part too. And now you can be a Magdalena energy practitioner. And so those are the different levels that we have. The initiation, though, rather than after a year, is after the 6 months. It's a successful completion of that. Next slide. And our promise in this program is you'll have an awareness of and an ability to transform what is between you and life and love and your soul. What is, you will know how to do that very clearly by the end of the program. You'll also become an empty vessel for these to embody these frequencies, because these other energies will be transmuted. And as they still show up in maybe different or capacity or different ways, you know what to do and you're committed to doing it so that you're not distorting anything. So these energies, you can embody them, you can emanate them. And if you go to certification, you'll have a new revenue stream. So you'll be able to offer these sessions and charge for these sessions and be a practitioner of this. You know, similar to many people are healing touch practitioners or Reiki practitioners that are in this program, or they've had a practice like that. And so you add this, it's a distinct type of work. You don't mix them, okay? But you can have this as one of your offerings, or you create your own practice as a healing practice for those of you who are feeling called to that. Next slide. So level 1 starts this March. It's coming up March 9th, where it will be our first webinar. It's purifying the personality and then embodying the divine qualities in those modules. And then there'll be the initiation. And the level 1 goes through September. So it's a 6-month program. All right, next slide. At some point in the fall, and I'm not quite clear the exact date of this. We offer it remotely. You don't have to be in person for it. And our we will be, and this year it sounds like at the global event be offering it in person. We have a global unity event in December, but we also offer it remotely. It's a very sacred ceremony, and if you're ready, you'll receive the initiation. And so that's what, and after you've completed the 6 months. Okay, next slide. In the structure of the program, there's these 2 weekend intensives, there's 3 webinars, there's 3 all program satsang gatherings. Satsang means sharing of truth. So every month you will have a 1-hour program. Okay, it's either going to be a webinar or it's going to be a satsang, or a webinar or a satsang. And those are required. Is preferred to get those dates on your calendar and you make it live, so you're answering questions. You can miss a little bit of them, but we expect you to watch them. They're all recorded within 3 days, so that you're very current with this program. Okay, we'll have meditation, daily meditation practices that you will do, and they're 20 minutes a day. It's a specific practice that you do. You're more than welcome to meditate for longer than that if you have a favorite practice you love to do. But 20 minutes has to be of this specific one, which is designed to really strengthen the work that we're doing. Okay. And you'll also have a facilitated small group, which we call your Magdalena sisters and brothers. And you get together once a month with them and a facilitator. And those are usually scheduled. The group comes together and comes up with a time that works for everybody. So we try to get you in a group that you know you're going to be able to make. Again, you can be sick or something once, but you really, those are to be attended live, and so you stay current with the program. Next slide. So the dates, for the weekend intensive, the first module is March 14th to 16th, and this level module 2 is June 13th to 15th. So those are the ones you want to be sure you can attend. If for some reason you can't, but you really want to be in the program, we are taking a list if there are some people who can't make that, and we maybe could do something for that. But we really, these are when they're scheduled for, and when we have them. All right, I think that's the last slide of what I have. Okay, oh yeah, we have the cost. Sorry about that. Okay, so the cost is $2,500. It's 2,000 after the application fee. So it's a $500 application fee. What happens is we look at your application and we have an interview for you, and then we'll either, and the whole thing is not really we're going to make you or not. It's like, is this the right time for you to do it? And so there's a lot of questions around that. Where are you in your life? Is this the right time? Because it's pretty intense 6 months, and we want to make sure you're successful and you can, it's the right time for you to do the program. So someone will evaluate you about that, and if you're accepted, then it's another $2,000. However, we have till the last date is tomorrow. um, there's an early bird discount of 200, so the application fee is 500, and then it would be 1,800 to if you get when you're accepted into the program. All right. I think that's the last slide. Am I right, Lisa? Yeah. Okay, great. So now Q&A. Let's do, no, actually, let me have, Lacey wanted to speak, agreed to speak to you today. When I asked her to speak for you, to talk to you about the program and what happened to her in the program, just so you have a sense. And then you can ask questions of me or Lacey when it's in the Q&A. So Lacey, I'm going to turn it over to you. What would you like to share with the group?
JJ Saima, everyone. So much power to get the whole group turned over. I think I'm going to start with a present time story, which was the past 24 hours, because never in a million years would I be talking to you all, a group of relative strangers, after I got an email yesterday from Mary. Probably checked my email around noon, and here Mary was like, "Hey, we're having a webinar tomorrow for Q&A. Would you come in and talk for 3 to 5 minutes?" Didn't bat an eyelash in the moment. I said, "Sure, Mary. I just have to pop off a little early. Is that okay?" Hit the send button and promptly felt my eyes go a little wide. I was like, oh dear Lord, is this real? Because I am not someone who would ever step in front of people to be vulnerable, to share a story. I think the past self would have been behind my intellect. I would have had a PowerPoint. I would have had a pre-prescribed speech so that I felt appropriate and safe to come in front of you all. So I think that was just a testament to this program I started a year ago. I won't sugarcoat it that it's not, squirmy and uncomfortable, and you're going to get triggered, and it's kind of the purpose, right? If your stuff comes up, if you're feeling like, I don't know who I am, I don't know what's going on, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling all these things, you're doing exactly right. And on the backside is true proper transformation. And I don't use that word lightly because I think this is soul work. I've been somebody who has gone around and had therapy, whether it's cognitive and we're in our mind, and I could tell you the story of my life back and forth and understand how it influenced me, but that doesn't mean that my behavior had ever changed. Or it can be body oriented, where I know, oh, I know how to calm my nervous system down, but I don't know how to make my nervous system respond differently in a situation. And this is one of those moments where my nervous system responded in a completely different situation, in a completely different manner, that actually turned into kind of a delight and an excitement and a joy to say, oh, I get to show up and share with these wonderful people how amazing this is and how different compared to all the other things I tried. And now I have to apologize to Emily because I just realized I was talking quickly and it's my first time being translated. So I'll just let her catch up. But I do have to say that, again, the difference with this program is that this is proper transformational change. It's not a flash in the pan. You can go to these weekend webinars or seminars and have all of this, oomph and whatever it might be, like you're so excited to start and then nothing changes. This is not that program. This is the program that builds on itself, right? We start with the personality, it's an inside job, and all of a sudden it's not the big, I'm not living in the 5 bedroom house mansion, but I'm in love with my life. I love where I am, and every day I get to wake up and say, oh, I'm in service of my soul, which means I'm in service to everyone around me. Like Mary said, I walk into the grocery store and I'm not, oh dear God, how fast can I get out of here? It's, oh, I'm so excited to see what's going to happen today. And it doesn't mean I'm living outside of the moment. I'm living in the moment and I'm walking around. And I can say, I think maybe I'll bring you guys on a visualization with me, which was in one meditation, I got a visual of how I used to operate in the world, which was a very tight fist. And I would just hold it so long, my muscles would start to ache. The fingernails would start kind of digging into my palm and feeling really uncomfortable because I was a bully. I was a bully to myself. And I held everything so strongly, trying to keep that energy from flying out somewhere else or being projected in an area I didn't want to. But what this program taught me how to do was just to let go and how much I can hold and how without these contracted energies in me, without the judgment, without the fear, without the shame, how much opportunity there is for more love, more compassion, and more tenderness, which were all things that I was missing. I probably skewed to the side of more masculine and being very diligent, very militant. I'd enter these programs with, oh, I'm going to do this differently. And then if I didn't do it differently, I took it out on myself, which really wasn't a great process for change. So I can honestly say that's not a pattern that's real for me anymore. And even sitting in front of you all right now, there's, still a little anxiety, still a little sweaty palm, but it's process, not perfection. And I'm so grateful to be here to do something different, especially as our beloved Saima says, in action. We're not here to just sit as lumps and, maybe spiritually bypass things by saying, oh, I love everything. No, we're going to go out in the world and live and emanate these frequencies with our behavior and with how we walk through the world. So if I could reach through the computer and hit submit for you, I would, but that's not my role. Mary's taught me that's not my role. So I would just say if your soul called you and your knowingness brought you here, then I honor that. And I can only tell you that it will get stronger and it will get more clear and it will get more powerful as you walk this path with us. And these faces hopefully will come familiar. One of my favorite things is jumping on the webinars or a satsang or whatever it is and seeing your new family and your new community who you can communicate at the same level. They're doing the same work. You can show up a complete hot mess and they're going to hold you with love and tenderness as they walk the path along with you. And you're going to do the same for them. So I open to any and all questions, which again, super new for me. And I am in delight just being able to say that out loud. So thank you to Mary too, and for Lisa and everybody who's just started this program. I never would have thought that I could keep going, but I'm in my certification and my practicum, and I'm living my best life, emanating these frequencies and getting clearer and clearer in my soul's purpose as I walk this wild life. So thank you, Mary.
Yes, Lacey, would you share? So I remember you telling me when she came in, she just didn't think she was going to do the energy practice thing. That was not like, she just wanted to, all right, I'll do this. And that was it. So would you share with them what's happened when you do an energy session? Why did you make that decision?
Absolutely. All right, let's see. Well, I'll have to start with the initiation because as you're doing this process, or I'll speak for me, there was this desire that, oh my gosh, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get this initiation. It's just the goal that I have in mind. And as soon as you get that initiation, everything that you thought you had capacity for, whether it was discomfort or joy, whatever it was, just the roof was blown off. So to be able to hold those frequencies and experience more and more and bigger was A, astounding, B, kind of addictive, and C, kind of separates the responsibility of me being a practitioner and needing to rescue. Like Mary said, there's so many healer traps that are out there. When you get to be a flute and just have these energies come through you, there's just such a relaxation and an embodiment that can happen as you're in service of somebody else. And at the same time, you're in service of yourself, right? This is not an either or, this is an and game where I get to have this beautiful energy come through me and work on me continuously while I'm in service of somebody else. So it's a win-win scenario. And then as soon as I started practicing, the ability to hold again, that capacity just keeps growing. I don't know if there's a ceiling. It just keeps growing.
And what did people experience on your table so she's still in the practice part. She hasn't gone all the way to certification. So she's doing her 25 practice sessions. Did that surprise you?
Absolutely. I think what's amazing is, again, this is an integration of the physical and the spiritual, which I think sometimes, at least in my mind, again, speak for myself, can be very separate. Here's my spiritual life, here's my physical life. This is a merging of the two. So when I have people on the table who come in with very tangible things like a cold or a hurt ankle or a sore back, and they walk up and they get up and they say it's gone, and they call me a couple days and say it hasn't come back. Whoa, wow. And then there's also the energetic kind of felt sense of it too. Of I had a client this week actually who was able to visualize younger parts of self experiencing this really held sacred mothering energy. And she said, I saw the judgment and I saw, how I thought they were nerdy or how I thought they were not enough. And it completely shifted in that moment. And again, this is not me as a talk therapist. This is not me having an agenda. This is me transmuting clearly through my own work this energy that then can serve this person, and they can have these incredible experiences and experience love. I think our beloved Sai Ma says, as humans, we don't experience love. We maybe have the unconditional, conditional idea. This is not that. This is love in a divine held sense, which is always present. And to be able to experience that is really something that's, again, transformative.
Thank you. All right. So now we're open to Q&A. So go down to, it's called React. And you'll see at the bottom of there that says raise hand, and that will bring you up to the front. So we'll be able to see who has a question or um, how we can answer your questions. Does anybody have a question? Yes, Debbie.
Hi, I'm JJ Soma.
Yes,
I'm so excited to join, but I do wonder how how do you feel maybe after the first intensive? Like, is there any prepping I need to do for afterwards or during, something like that?
that's the fun thing of being in the SIMA community. Anybody else could raise their hand when I speak on this, is you're going to find all your stuff's going to come up. Because what we didn't speak of so far actually is SIMA is pouring light, so much light into this grid. So we're with a living master, a living enlightened being. And so she activates this grid, she activates this grid, she activates this grid. So it's like, think of like a house, the rooms have been dusty and like and somebody's shining a big light there. All your stuff's going to come up. You do not have to worry about preparing. It's going to show up in the right order for you to work on it. So it's no preparing. The biggest thing is to show up and then be really open to what comes up. How do I transmute it? To being honest about it, to no longer suppressing what's in
Yeah.
you. And for some people, there's anger, there's rage, there's violence in them because that's what happened in their childhood. And so this energy is going to erupt and then gets transmuted. And then this is how you free yourself and you transmute energy. It's alchemy. And you transmute, especially in this grid that we have with Saima amplifying it and the processes we have, that it's I would say almost miraculous, maybe miraculous, how fast it can transmute if you don't hold on to it and don't pretend you don't have it. So that's the
Okay.
game in this thing. And that the whole program is created to support you, not to be fake.
Okay.
And so you're in a supportive environment. Everybody knows this is what we're going through. Stuff comes up, we transmute it so that when it comes time for the initiation, as Lacey was sharing, you're more of an open vehicle. Then the initiation happens and you're even more, you see.
Wow.
Yeah. So answer your question?
For the most, yes. So I'm assuming you noticed this clearing after the weekend,
Yes.
like
Oh,
you
definitely.
feel different.
But it's not over till it's over. So it doesn't mean, oh,
No.
I did the weekend. Now I should be like, walking on water. No, your more stuff's going to come up, more stuff. It's always comes up, but it's so much
Right.
easier because you know what to do and because of the energy of the grid.
Now, I'm signed up for the Journey of Profound Healing the weekend of that month, for the month of March as well. So
Oh.
will that help support the further, I'm assuming that supports the further clearing.
Yes. So if the Journey of Profound Healing is a requirement if you're going all the way to certification. And why that's a requirement is because when you do the Journey of Profound Healing, then we go and get the roots of it. So it's
Okay.
really key to do that. So you don't have to have it for the initiation, but you have to have it for certification. So it's good that you're doing it now to just get it, because then it'll make a lot of the rest of the program a little bit easier. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I think the one in March is full, and we'll probably be doing another one in April or May at some point. So there'll be enough of them that you guys can jump into them if you want to when you're ready.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Down to react. Raise your hand. Anybody here trained in Reiki? No. Sometimes people will ask me that question. Yeah. Like, what's the difference between this and Reiki? It's a different table way of doing it. That's one thing, but more distinctly, I would say, is Reiki was an energy that was that came down. I don't know how long ago, I forget, but a while ago. This is more, it's a distinct energy. Think energy like ice cream flavors, okay? So Reiki is one flavor. This is a different level. When Ma speaks of this energy, Ma said, well, most energies are kind of like, this is very round. It's a round energy. And those are in our pro. I trained in Reiki in the 90s, so I know the Reiki energy, but this energy is very, very powerful and very soft at the same time. So it's distinct. So it's not that you can't do both. It's just when you're doing a session, if it's a Magdalena session, you activate those frequencies and you use this process. If you're doing a Reiki session, you do that process and you don't mix the energies. Although of course, you always have an energy in you, obviously, but you don't activate that energy for a Reiki session. Mm-hmm. Yes, Tammy. Can't hear you. Get you to unmute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Om JJ Saima. My
Sama.
question is a compound one. Is there anything that this energy cannot help to heal? And does the recipient have to have true belief, or can they be a mild skeptic and still receive healing?
As we know, everyone on this planet has free will. So there's no energy on the planet that you can override me with. That makes sense. So if the
Yes.
person, if I don't think your energy is going to work, I can block you because I have free will and I'm powerful. You're powerful. We're all powerful. Your client's powerful. Okay. So as long as they have I would say maybe even a window open, you're fine. And then you just allow in whatever it's not your business how much they're letting in. You show up and you offer what you offer, and they get to take as much as they wish to or not wish to. Because otherwise it's the wrong, you're in the wrong frequency if you're trying to make something happen. Okay.
Right.
So it's that. Is there anything it can't heal? Of course, there's no one. I mean, things are happening for all sorts of reasons. We know, I don't know about you guys, but I remember being in church when I was a young therapist. Okay. And I remember the teaching where Jesus, the priest is reading it, Jesus went back to Nazareth, right? And people were like, oh, isn't that the carpenter's son? Isn't that this? Da, 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 da. And there were no healings that happened that day. And I remember thinking, well, if you couldn't pull it off in your town, what am I doing with my family? Let me leave those guys alone. Okay. Why? There's many reasons for many things. And so your job is to show up, no attachment to outcome, and offer. And then, and just, it does what it does. And oftentimes it's very, very subtle. There's a very subtle change. The person doesn't feel anything. They don't da 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 da. And then other times you'll have people like get up off your table. The pain is gone. Okay. You know, and then the pain can also come back because remember, Jesus's teaching was go and speak no more of it. In other words, don't bring it back. Don't do what you did that created it in the first place. Okay. So you don't control any of that. You just show up, allow the energy to move through you, and be just as surprised as they are, and don't get caught up in any ego trap. We spend a lot of time talking about ego traps of healers so that you don't distort the energy. Yeah. So yeah, there'll be plenty of things it won't work for probably. I don't know, but that's not my business. Make sense?
Okay, yes, thank you.
Very welcome. Any other questions? Anything you're wondering about or? Yeah.
Moi, je me demandais quel était le tarif.
Okay, so
Oui.
those who are in English speakers, make sure you have English on yours and you'll hear what she's saying in French. So translation. I'm not hearing the translation. I'm pretty sure I have English on mine. Is it working, Emily? Yes, now I can.
Alors, moi, je me demandais pour le chemin de guérison profond, quel est le tarif et la durée de cette formation-là? Je suis curieuse.
Okay, the Journey of Profound Healing is a weekend program that we do online. Okay, the cost of that is there's all different rates, like an early bird rate and a this rate, right? So that's about, I would say, 1,008, but there's different rates to get in faster. And if you need it in French, at some point, I will be doing one of those with Audrey. Okay, I don't know if you know Audrey Perron, but she and I will do one. So we'll have one in French at some point. Yeah.
Merci.
Yes. It's a fantastic program, everyone. It's life-changing, that program. What else? Any other questions? Yes, Debbie.
Hi, I was just wondering, it just occurred to me, will my family members notice the energetic difference possibly too? Just
Who knows? I have a lot of family members. Some of them notice, some of them don't. Depends on what level of awareness they're at. What I can tell you is that your relationships will change because you've changed. You'll be less critical, you'll be less judgmental, you'll be less needy, you'll free them from you, you'll free yourself from them, and you'll be different. Now, whether or not they notice, oh, who knows? That don't make that a criteria. But you will notice. I can tell you that all my relationships, including with my children, with my partner, with my husband, they're all different. They're beautiful. That's doing the work, and me being being on alignment with my soul and being able to love in a totally deeper capacity, not covered with judgments and expectations and a lot of blah blah. So that's but whether anybody else notices depends on your relatives. People.
Thank you.
Got it. Any other questions? All right, so we have a very short 2-minute video, which we'll play for you, and then we'll close. So Lisa, back to you.
Welcome to the Shakti of Maria Magdalena. Maria took birth from a lineage. You may call that lineage all the names of the divine feminine that you've heard Realize that Maria Magdalena has always existed, will always exist, in different shape, in different color, with different names. See Shakti, pure Shakti of creation, the consciousness of creation itself. There's a lineage of the divine feminine. And where is it? It's inside of each one of you. May you be a masculine form right now. It's in you. A feminine form, it's in you. You cannot be one or the other. You are both. The balance, the equilibrium. I have deep compassion for the masculine who struggle to be in the heart. You gentlemen, find your ways to be in your heart, to be vulnerable. This is the grace of life. Allow life to breathe you. Allow life to grab you so you become life. You pulsate life. You shine life. Life is God. Give yourself to life. Make of your personality an offering to life where there's no room for anything else but life.
And I love this visual here. Not everyone has the role to be a light on this planet. And not everyone has to get it. But those of us who said, I will come, I will serve, it's important that you get it. You be the light wherever you stand, wherever you are, and you shine. You play your role in the grand design as the earth, Mother Earth, Mata Gaia, shifts into the new era, the enlightened era, the shift of consciousness. And so I invite you, if this program calls you, to step into it. Play your role in the grand design. Om Jai Jai Sai Ma. Thank you so much for joining us today. Blessings.